is Dollar doing the fight party?
I guess we should be talking about that soon, huh?
Yeah, because I need to know if I need to ask off for that weekend from the part-time gig.
I'm sure he's going to do it. If he says he's going to do it, I'm sure he's going to do it.
But are we going?
I'm going. I'm down the street.
Because, I'm riding with you, so I need to leave here.
Brad
so
probably won't make it, but...
I'll have to check. I have to see what I can do. I can drive. I mean, it's a 4-hour drive. I should be doable.
I was about to say, I'm 2.5.
Well, people, see, my plan was to come and meet you and then ride down with you.
That's possible.
So that was my plan. So I just need to know so I can govern myself accordingly to get my time off and such.
Okay. We just gotta. I was gonna stay with Mike, and but I'm sure we can figure that part out as well.
Okay.
If we do the fight thing, then I'll probably have to drive. I'll probably get up.
I'm about to say you can stay with Tori, I'm sure.
More than likely, I'll probably drive down probably early Saturday morning. Then
that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, Lanice, you came to me Saturday morning early.
Okay.
And then just hit the road and do a night and come on back the next day. No biggie.
Yeah, that works.
And it's not like I'm gonna be doing any crazy drinking, anything like that. So I won't be nobody's hungover for.
I certainly hope not.
No, not at Tori's house.
Not at Tori's house. About as hard as I'm going is some Coke or Pepsi.
I don't have time to be chasing nobody around.
Coca Pepsi straight. No ice. About as hard as I'm going.
Why'd you say it like that, Jason?
Oh shoot. Me and Tori, we barely drank nothing. We didn't drink nothing in school. I mean, we pretty much were.
Don't do it.
Everybody knew us in school, but they were just like, these cats, they not doing nothing. They not drinking nothing.
Y'all in the clean kidney crew?
Clean kidney crew. Pretty much. Yeah, me and Tori, we're basically like, nope, I'm good.
Teetotalers. I ain't drinking around y'all.
We pretty much are. I think when we got out of school, I mean, we were pretty much got my one drink. That's it. That's pretty much it.
And it turned out most of the night.
There was one Aggie that I actually saw him at a homecoming. It might have been about 5 years ago. I won't disclose his name. I'm not going to disclose his name.
No names, please.
No names.
No initials either.
Nope, not giving any of that. But when I saw him and was talking to him, because I swear he was a functioning alcoholic. He was a functioning alcoholic, I'm sure of it. Like, he functioned better drunk than he did sober. But I realized when we were standing there having a conversation, I was like, dude, you're sober. And he was like, you seem surprised. I was like, I think it might be the first time I've ever seen you sober. It was very mysterious. I didn't even know how to act. Like, it was almost like, you'd met somebody famous or something, because, you start tapping people on the shoulder. Yo, so-and-so sober. And what? Let me go see him.
Wait, you sober? Me and Jay mentioned this before, but there's a certain young lady
Lord. Oh, don't go there.
Young lady that we know that, like I told you, she used to be so drunk all the time that she met me 3 different times.
Right. Pete would always say, "You've met me before." What? No, I've met you before.
We met at. Never mind. I'm Pete.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
All right, man. Goodness gracious.
Kentucky, man. Kentucky and Notre Dame, man. What's going on, man? What the heck happened?
That was a lot of fun. That was fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was a very good game.
They weren't scared.
They had
not scared.
Notre Dame had them.
They had them. And then the last 3 possessions of the game, they stopped being Notre Dame and turned into some mid-major team that wanted to go one-on-one. I'm like, look.
Who are you and what are y'all doing?
Like, go back. I was like, how many passes did they make? They made like 1 pass in the last 3 possessions. It's like, dude, y'all had it. Keep playing.
Right.
What they scored. So what they scored. So what? Just keep going.
Keep your foot on the gas. Don't quit. Do what got you to overtime. Like, keep that up.
Stacked, man. Kentucky stacked, dude. They played a C game and still won.
But
they played a C game and still won.
Yep. I was like, when I was watching it, I had made the comment. I was like, the difference between Notre Dame and West Virginia was that Notre Dame knew that they could run with Kentucky. They just didn't tell anybody. So Kentucky didn't get their game up to play them, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh man, this is like a for real basketball game."
Mm-hmm. They really trying to beat us.
Whereas West Virginia was like, "You're gonna lose," and no, don't say anything. Just play your game and let happen. Because I was thinking with Notre Dame, I was like, I'm gonna be able to go to bed here early.
I knew Notre Dame was gonna give them. I knew Notre Dame was gonna give them.
Well, I was hoping for it, but I'm thinking after the shellacking they gave West Virginia, I was like, easily they gonna win by 15. I should be able to go to bed shortly after halftime. Now I had to stay up all night long watching that game.
I was watching that West Virginia game, like, really? They really about to score like less than 20 points in a half.
But West Virginia.
But this is what we said about West Virginia. Either you was gonna get all or none. And when you saw the first 5 minutes, it was obviously
a wrap.
Getting none. That's how West Virginia played all season. Either they were on your butts or they was getting their butts kicked. The Big 12 was a tough conference, but we see now that the Big 12 was not as competitive as we thought, because none of them teams seemed like when the chips were down, none of them teams seemed like they could do anything, come back and win. I'm like, all of them just folded like paper.
Big 12 basketball is a lot like watching Big 12 football, actually.
Actually, it's almost identical, Prev. You're absolutely, you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. No, he's got
it's not funny if you actually watch Big 12 football.
It's funny.
It is absolutely
funny,
almost identical.
It's funny, but it's true.
That's another Big 12 basketball team.
The only difference is that Big 12 basketball actually does right. They actually do put out stars. They do actually put out stars.
So does that mean
Durant, Paul Pierce?
So does that mean the University of Tennessee is about to get jacked up?
Point guard. Stupid Prep. Is it just a point?
Rick Barnes is now at Tennessee.
Right.
You know what? I had this thought. You know what, though? Speaking of all that with Rick Barnes and Shaka Smart talking to Texas, who knows who's going to take a job or not. This thought occurred to me, and Pete's better at this stuff than I am. If you're Shaka Smart,
be smart.
You go to Texas, what changes? Other than your paycheck. Your paycheck's going to change a lot. But other than that, are you going to win any conference championships at Texas? Are you going to make the Elite Eight at Texas?
The only difference is, Prev, is that he's going to get more talent, better talent, a little bit better talent. Mm-hmm. And so it'll be interesting.
He'll recruit better.
No doubt he's gonna be playing against better talent. I guess the only question only thing I'll say is that he would have the opportunity to coach better players, which would then, maybe he doesn't win a Big 12 title, but he'll at least, if he can win games, it'll prove out.
Do the same thing that Rick Barnes did.
Well, but the thing is, Rick Barnes had been around. If Shaka Smart goes out and proves that he can coach the Big 12, be in the top 2 or 3 teams and compete for the Big 12 every year, it'll just be another resume. It's another resume booster for him. Yeah. For Rick Barnes has been around for 25 years, so it was more of, okay, we're just tired of looking at this dude. Move on. It's different.
And that leads to my second question then. Because it's Texas, and in general, do they give a crap about? They don't give a crap. Jason, you know where I'm going?
They're not going to let that happen. There's no way they're going to let. No.
They're not going to let.
I think we all know what the elephant in the room is. That at Texas. Two at Texas.
That's cool. That's cool, Jason, because that answers my question. That's part of my question right there.
I can't see them letting. I can't see them letting.
Jason, hold on, Jason. If the University of Texas, regardless of who was coaching, won the Red River War and won the Big 12 football championship and won a bowl game this year, does Rick Barnes still have his job?
Yes. Yes.
And that's my point about what changes for Shaka Smart if he goes to Texas. What changed at Texas?
It's just a resume booster, that's all. There's nothing different. It's a resume.
I was thinking the same. Me and Trev, we on the same page because I was thinking the same thing myself.
If I was him, I would.
So because Mac Brown had a hard run.
I'll stay at VCU.
I mean, if you want $2 million more a year, yeah, go to.
Well, yeah, no doubt. If it's really about the money, but if it's just about being comfortable and having complete control, and you got all of that at VCU. So it just depends, like you said, if you want the money.
There is no other show at VCU.
Yeah, this is it. That is the show. You are the show. Yeah, I agree.
Shoot, at Richmond right now, Havoc. That is Richmond right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know one thing. I actually wish he would be the Ohio State coach. I wouldn't mind Thad Matta leaving and taking Shaka Smart. And Shaka Smart would take that job if Ohio State opened up because he got roots out there.
That's a different story than Texas.
That is a very different story.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different. But at Texas, I'm with you forever. If they had a good football year, they probably just like, Rick Barnes, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Again, whatever.
Right, but because of Charlie,
out of 17 years, how many coaches can say that?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. I mean, when I saw the resume,
and then he was with Clemson. He made a tournament like 6 or 7 times with Clemson.
He had 408 wins and 180 losses, and I was like, golly, he's that much over 500.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed. Yes. I would have never guessed that.
And Jason, you want to know why you didn't know his record was like that? You want to know why you didn't know his record was like that?
Because he got beat every year.
Because he was at Texas.
Because he was at Texas.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Texas basketball.
The only person on this panel that knew that Texas was that good is me, because I followed Kansas. And I know there were years, about 5 or 6 years, where those were the 2 teams you had to beat. I mean, remember DJ Augustine, TJ4, LaMarcus Aldridge,
PJ Tucker,
Ivory, Trenton Thompson, all these dudes, Kevin Durant. These dudes used to give Kansas.
He had some legit pros coming out of his program for a good 5 or 6 year stretch.
But what I'm saying is Texas was in the top 10 for like 5 or 6 years, and Kansas was in the top 10. So it's not like this dude hasn't had his team nationally ranked. But to Prev's point, nobody cares.
Nobody remembers. Nobody cares.
Yep.
They still have 400 wins.
400 wins. I couldn't believe it. I was like, golly. Yep. And the other thing, and then if you look at Rick Barnes, this man got fired. Rick Barnes got fired on Monday, had a job on Wednesday.
So that should tell you that.
I couldn't believe it when they said they hired him that fast. I was like, you mean? I said, was the other coach even fired yet? It was fast. It was fast. I couldn't believe it.
Like the other coach was still cleaning out his office, and dude was like, "Hey, I got the moving boxes here. What do you need?"
Right. They did a Tony Sparano. I mean, it was just like, what in the world? Tony Sparano coaching the team. They saying, "Yeah, we want Harbaugh." What? What? It still says head coach on my door, doesn't it?
Nope.
Not anymore.
It's gone.
Goodness gracious. And then the guy they fired from here in Tennessee.
See the guy. You don't remember his name. The guy.
Donnie Tyndall.
Oh, okay.
I thought Kwanzaa Martin was still coaching the team, and then it was like, no, it's this new dude. I'm like, who is this dude?
Well, they hired this dude. They hired him from Southern Miss, and then he got in trouble for the jump from Southern Miss. So then they said, man, you got dirty laundry. You got to go. Tennessee fired him after 1 season. He went 500 in his first season. They were like, you got old stuff going on. You got baggage. You got to go.
Plus, who
doesn't have baggage though?
True.
Everybody got baggage.
That's true, but man.
His baggage was too funky. It was too dirty, too heavy.
You gotta go.
Yep. You gotta wash it like Calipari.
Oh boy.
Hey, don't get on my boy Calipari, man. You know what? He actually coached that game against Notre Dame.
He did.
He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice.
He coached. I was like, he's actually coaching. He pulled the right strings. He pulled the right strings at the right time, though.
Yeah, because he had an option. I can coach or I can go home. So he was like, let me go ahead and pull out my coaching cap, put that on, and square it up. Speaking of not coaching, what in the heck happened on Sunday with Louisville? End of the game, overtime?
I didn't see the game. I didn't see that.
They're down 4 points.
The game was watching me.
They were down 4 points And mind you, it's overtime. You're down 4 points. You're losing. But you got like 30 seconds on the clock.
Right. Wayne and Blackshear out here just.
And they are dribbling, doing passing drills.
Okay, yeah, I did see that part.
I was like, well, do y'all not know you're down by 4 points? Because you need to score immediately.
They're running the play.
You need to score immediately.
They ran the play on the board. They ran what he called.
They ran the play.
But it was terrible. That's why I said, speaking of not coaching, because I was like, nobody on Louisville was like, hey man, we're down 4 points with 30 seconds. We're gonna need to just get down here and lob that up for a basket.
They said, man, this ain't rock and sock basketball. Where's that 4 point spot?
Right. We need a 4 point play.
We need
rock and jock.
Right, like if we can get 2 and a foul, that's even better. But let's get 3 and a foul, and then let's make it, because we need to at least tie this up.
Double dribble.
Right.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? But I gotta give Tom Izzo his credit though.
I had gone to a little March Madness thing for that game.
Oh, Tom Izzo's that dude.
At my complex. And all of us were watching the game going, why are they dribbling? It was terrible. I had never seen anything like that.
Tom Izzo's he's already had respect for me, but it went up in spades, man. That dude is the dude, man. Tom Izzo,
he didn't jack up my bracket.
He pulling rabbits out of the hat.
I didn't know why I didn't pick that man.
That dude is he's Penn and Teller.
I don't know why you didn't pick him, because when you do pick him, that's that 1 year.
That's terrible.
You're right, Prev. I watched him this year and was like, these cats aren't that good.
And here's the thing. They got a chance. Here's the thing. They can beat Duke.
They can beat Duke. Yes, they can.
They can.
Yes, they can.
But
Duke is good, but Duke is not unbeatable.
I need not to.
Yeah, Prev got the lead. The only way I can beat Prev is if I guess the score right. That's about it. I think it's a wrap.
Are you holding on to score, Jason?
That's about all I can do. I'm sitting here like, man, Prev is like up by like 1 point or 2 points, and I'm just like, how can I beat him? I said, I know he got Kentucky winning, and I know he got the score, and I said, I know Kentucky's gonna win by like at least 10 points, and I was just like, I'm gonna give Duke a little bit more credit than that. And I said, I'm gonna say they're gonna lose by 10. Prev, I think, got them winning by Kentucky winning by like 14 or something like that. And I was just like, sheesh. I was like, all I can do is just guess the score. It's a wrap. Done.
It is a wrap. It is a wrap. I said that last week. I was like, it's a wrap. I said it last week. I was like,
last week there was more of a possibility
potential points. Potential points.
Because we were going on potential points. This week we're clear. Prev's got this. Like, if there's a trophy involved, we're going to go ahead and ship that into Prev now.
Yep. Because I thought, I was like, I got this. I was like, I got this thing. And then I was like, as soon as NC State went down, I was like, oh, and Virginia went down, I was like, oh, hell.
Dude, Virginia went down, because I picked NC State
when I the first night when Iowa State lost, it was a wrap. I had them fools going. Dude, they were the hot team in the Big 12.
I didn't believe Big 12, Pete. Other than Kansas.
I was not, dude. I had Kansas going out to Notre Dame. I didn't have no faith in Kansas this year. I love my team. I thought Iowa State was hot, dude. I was like, these dudes have come back from 10 down, 4 straight games. They won 6 of their last 7. They are ready. Boom, boom.
They were ready.
I was
ready to go home.
Right. Well, I didn't believe in Villanova, but I at least gave him a little bit of credit, because I was like, Villanova will do their usual. But I was like, I'm gonna give. I said, you know what? Just because I don't know some of these players, will be the year that they'll probably win one more game than I think they'll win. And that's
when has Villanova been to the Final Four, Jay? When?
Did they make it? Did they make it with Kerry Kittles? I thought Kerry Kittles. Didn't Kerry Kittles make it to a Final Four? Way back in the day.
So. Did he play in '84?
I don't.
Not to be playing '84.
Not Raleigh Massillon.
I have one thing Villanova, but I'm not. I'm just as bad.
Did Kyle Lowry make it to one?
No.
Did they lose in the Elite Eight? Okay.
No.
Was he rubbing some guy's head in a wheelchair?
No.
All right then.
But let's talk about.
I'm missing the back of the jerseys, man. I'm just, I'm trying to.
But let's talk about the team though that we wouldn't be surprised if they actually do win it all, and that's Wisconsin, man. Wisconsin.
Sam Decker. Sam Decker.
There's no surprise if anybody wins, but Saturday's gonna be easy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Sam Decker is better than Gordon Hayward. I'm taking Sam Decker over Gordon Hayward. Sam Decker's the baddest. Telling you, BWB.
Say it.
Sam Decker. That dude is nasty. I'm telling you.
He's a baller, dude.
This dude is 6'9", 230. He don't even look like he weigh that much, but I'm just saying.
I've seen this dude dunk on many people this year.
Yes. And I was like, who is this guy?
He got the skill set to play. He'll be a borderline all-star, but Sam Decker is. You don't believe in
Kaminsky. I don't know, man.
You don't believe in any center that's not. You're just terrible, Jay. Don't do that.
I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of these European centers, man. This European game, this shooting 3-pointer centers, and
he post up. Don't even cry.
He post up, but is he strong? Is he a legit strong post up guy? I guess we're gonna find out against Kentucky, but I don't know, man. Sam Decker.
Sam Decker.
Or not Sam Decker, but Kaminsky. I'm kind of like, are you gonna end up being Chris Mim or, are you gonna be David Lee? I don't know. David Lee in his prime with the Knicks. I don't know.
Oh Lord.
Because Chris Mim, they hyped him up too, and then he went to the Cavs and was just like, "What are you doing?"
Well, that's why the Cavs.
It didn't matter. At least you can be Ricky Davis and ball out on a sorry team. You can be Ricky Davis and ball out on a sorry team.
I know, but it still wasn't nice.
At this point, Jason Arthur not making Cavs references until they win this
year. Not from that era.
Well, LeBron will get. Hopefully, he'll get MVP and Coach of the Year and GM of the Year.
Sure, why not?
Well, now I don't think he's gonna get MVP.
No, he'll get GM and Coach of the Year.
GM and Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting MVP. I feel like Steph Curry's got that locked up. Speaking of which, did y'all see that crossover?
Yes. And they tried to make excuses for Chris Paul, and I'm like, come on now, Chris Paul ain't the most quickest point guard in the league.
I don't have anything to say.
Chris Paul not gonna play a long time. I'm just gonna say that right there. He ain't gonna play till he's in his late 30s. I think it's clear that.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I think the pictures are funnier than the highlight itself. All the pictures circulating are funnier than the highlight itself.
I mean, they show this dude Chris Paul break dances.
Break dancing. The one with the girl that's twerking on him and knocked him down with his butt.
The one with the girl that's twerking, that was hilarious. Dude.
Yeah, the one with the girl twerking and she knocked him down. That was fantastic.
I think I saw one about The Matrix.
That one was great.
I saw the highlight. I was like, oh, I said they killing him right now.
Because I hadn't seen it.
And Chris Paul. And Chris Paul, man.
Well, what in the world happened? So then I had to look for the highlight.
Oh.
I already took a look. I couldn't find any Chris Paul RKO out of nowhere videos yet. So somebody's working on it.
Can I see? I got to see.
It's gonna be great when it comes out, though.
Oh gosh.
Those RKO out of nowheres are so underrated. So underrated.
You cannot watch them enough times. I'm telling you. And you won't like it, but when that one with Jameis Winston came out, I watched that thing like 60 times in a row.
Yep. That one was hilarious.
Remember, they got the ref too.
That's right. Jameis and the referee from the semifinal game. I was so thrilled. RKO over nowhere. RKO.
I didn't know the referee had fallen down until I saw that video.
That is my dude, man. Randy Orton that is my dude too, man. I love it.
Y'all are retarded.
Apex Predator.
Killer B. Speaking of wrestling, that was a great little post that you had, Pete. Which is your favorite WWE/F era?
If anybody picked anything current, they're terrible.
Right. Right.
This stuff is terrible. And like you say, it's reality.
Golden era or attitude.
And the thing is, current isn't really awful. You just can't really.
You can't relate.
You can't really frame it by comparison to the golden era.
So you guys got any predictions real quick on the Final Four before we get off here?
I dare say tough match it's going to be tough. Tough game with Kentucky. Wouldn't be surprised if Wisconsin wins, but I don't think it's going to happen. Duke, like you said, look, you know what? It could be any four of those teams. Any one of those teams can wind up taking this thing all the way out. So
I think
Duke, at that point they're all good enough that somebody could pull off something.
I think Michigan State's a pickle. I really believe that Michigan State can beat Duke. I think that's a pick'em game.
Yeah, no question.
I think that I think Wisconsin will lose, but I have a feeling that I'm telling you, I believe that Sam Dekker gonna have another coming out party, and he gonna end up leaving early. Kaminsky, I feel like these boys about to. I know he's experienced, but I feel like he's gonna have to show out in this game. He's gonna have because he's going against two guys. Or three. Well,
I mean,
actually, it's gonna be Johnson, Bakari.
It's gonna be Bakari Johnson. In the NBA. Is that? I'm thinking about this purely in terms of how he projects into the NBA, as opposed to just taking it one college game at a time.
I look at it. I'm looking past this game to. I mean, I mean that's the epitome of what these guys are trying to get to. There's some guys where I look at and say, you are clearly not a pro. And there's some guys where there's other guys, there's guys that can be good in college and they're clearly not pros. You got Adam Morrison, as an example. But I think with Kaminsky, they're saying he's a high draft pick. They're saying he's the player of the year. They're saying this. And I'm just like, this is a good test. These guys can move with them. Yeah, they're young, but they're not punks,
so I don't think about it in those terms.
He want to shoot 3-pointers on the outside. They can stay with him for the most part. They can block the shot if he shoot. They can, if he want to drive from the elbow in, they can stay with him.
But Jason, we said that with Notre Dame, and Notre Dame hit their fair share of threes, and they got smaller guys. So my point is, I don't really care about how he hits them to prove a point. My thing is, they are the one team that can match them in size and athleticism. The only key is, do they have the depth? Because that's what Kentucky gets you, is that they don't stop coming. The starting fives, if you told me right now to take the starting, I would take Wisconsin starting five because they're more experienced, they can score, they play good defense, and they can play with anybody in the nation. But the key is, when Calipari brings off the bench, Karl Anthony Towns, brings off the bench, Tyler's up. These dudes are coming off the bench. They're not stopping, and that's why I was like, the Kentucky, if they beat Notre Dame, that was their bad game. Think about it. It's like you knew they was gonna have one game where they probably didn't play to par. They did it all season. They would play 4 or 5 games, and they would have one bad game, and they would still win. Same thing in the third of it. So as much as
that's true.
I just can't pick against Kentucky, but I would not be surprised if Michigan State would beat Duke. I'm actually going to call that right now.
Don't forget, Calipari even has said often they should have lost 5 games this year.
Yeah.
But you know what, Calipari? But that's
I'm just saying.
That's that.
I'm saying.
But he's saying all the right things, Fred.
It's not like it was inaccurate though.
But he said that to play it down though to a certain point because he knows that team is talented enough.
But he also knows that the point is that anybody can have that night against them. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's basketball. It's basketball. If this was anything like an NBA setup, there's no way nobody's picking anybody to beat them 4 out of 7 in a series. It's not.
But just one night of basketball?
That's fine. Is. Yeah. I'm going with Kentucky, Michigan State, and then I can see Michigan State hanging with them, just playing tough defense, but I just see Kentucky taking it all the way, man. I'm going with the 40-0. I hate to say it. I'm going with the 40-0.
Sometimes you got to go with what you got to go with.
Wisconsin to win, though. I really would like Wisconsin to win, but I don't know if they can.
I wonder how Bob Knight gonna feel.
I do want to see 40 now.
I wonder how Bob Knight gonna feel about Calipari if he breaks his undefeated record.
Nobody's
gonna most wins in the season.
Record. He already did it.
No, I mean 40 wins. That's what I'm saying.
Percentage? No, well, he's already got the 30. He got the 38.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder how, because you know how Bob Knight hates Calipari, so I'm just wondering.
I don't nobody care what Bob Knight think other than Bob Knight.
He can hate Calipari. I mean, a lot of people hate Calipari. I don't know why.
Calipari.
I don't know why.
He doesn't. Bob Knight thinks Calipari. He thinks he's a salesman. He don't think he really coaches. You know, I think part of it is that I think Bob Knight also hates the system of the one and done, and I think he hates that. Right. I think he hates that Calipari can operate within. You know, he can work.
Bob Knight hates me.
So if Bob Knight hates Calipari, then how does he feel about his star pupil doing the same thing? Because neither one of those freshmen on the front line for Duke are coming back.
No,
they're not coming back.
But Krzyzewski fought it. He was fighting.
Krzyzewski did fight it for a long time.
He did. Elton Brand. He did. Will Avery. He did. Corey Maggette.
Kyrie Irving.
He did. Kyrie Irving. He did.
That was after he accepted it.
He did.
I'm with Lanice. It was after he accepted
it. He was paying lip service while he shifted gears and got with the time.
Elton Brand came out in the 90s, right? I mean, do y'all realize that?
Right, but
that was the first class that I think he basically said, I can't fight it.
Other than that, he didn't recruit him. Like, that was a big thing because in North Carolina,
you can only have so many Marty Clarks. There's only so many Marty Clarks you can have.
What do you mean when you say he did? What do you mean when you say he didn't recruit him?
He didn't recruit him before.
If they had no intention of staying, like, that was a big thing.
So wait a minute. So you're saying if he didn't want him, somebody put a gun to his head and forced him to offer him a scholarship?
No, I'm saying like he wasn't recruiting. Like, if dudes were actively like, I'm gonna play just 1 year, he wasn't going checking for them, trying to get them on his squad. And then he finally realized.
I agree with the guys
that he did get. I thought that's what
No. I'm not talking.
They just kind of showed up on their own.
No, the ones that he got, that's after he gave in and was like, okay, I realize now that we're not gonna win nothing else ever again at Duke University in basketball.
I can't get Wojo.
I don't get with the program.
I can't have Wojo on playing point guard and win the title.
Right.
Here's the ironic thing, though, that you guys are missing, though. When he won his championships, he didn't have one and dones. Think about it. His star players on all of his championship games always juniors and seniors.
But
my point is,
that was before the game switched to the whole big one and done thing.
When was that? What's your time frame you're talking here?
3 years ago. With Collins and what I don't even remember the dudes on the team. What's the dude? Schreier. That's my point. That's what I'm getting to. He's doing it now, but it's not because he's doing it because he feels he have to. These players wanted to come to Duke for 1 year. They wanted to, and he's like, okay, come. But every championship he's won has always been with seniors and juniors.
Right, and I'm not disagreeing with that, Pete. What me and Lanice are saying is that he didn't want to do it, and then I think the Will Avery, Elton Brand, Corey Maggette class was the first class where he was just like, let me go ahead and give this thing a shot. And he was figuring it out. And then, he's still, like you said, these boys wanted to come, and he said, look, I'm not going to fight it. They can come and they can leave, but I'm going to have the Schreiers, I'm going to have some of these other boys on the bench and just have them, ready to go when they leave. He basically said they can come, they can get their year in, but I'm going to have my guys ready to go after the fact. So I think that's what me and Lanice are basically saying is that he tried to not do it.
But it was a big thing, Pete. I know you don't want to hear it. You got players to name, all that good stuff.
Yeah, but you're talking about North Carolina media.
No, but you're saying
that's North Carolina media.
He wasn't desperate to do it. He did it because he wanted to do it. He wasn't desperate to do it.
I wasn't saying he was desperate to do it, but my thing was, it's like he never, like, that wasn't his big thing. When the other schools were all like, okay, one and done because we want the big names, the top recruits.
What other schools? One of the schools. It sounded like everybody was doing it.
There's only one other school.
Because y'all are talking the past like 5 years. I'm going back in the 80s and in the early 90s. Work with me here. Because Mike Krzyzewski's been at Duke for 100 years. So anyway.
But there's
but in the 80s, what
the 90s they didn't do it. That wasn't you couldn't do it.
Built.
That's what I'm saying. I know what you guys are saying. It's a big deal that he didn't want to do it, and I'm sure there was. I get that, but I'm saying now the fact that Okafor and that kid Jones were tied at the hip, they had 3 other schools to pick from. Krzyzewski could have said Duke is off the table, but he didn't do that, and I don't think he wouldn't have won. I mean, he would have just went out and got other players like he's done before.
No, but what I'm saying, I think what we're trying, and Lenise, correct me if I'm wrong, what we're saying is that Krzyzewski has evolved and eventually adapted to having the one and dones, working a system with other players that are going to stay 4 years. I know that you've got some of these guys like the Nate James, you've got Kara Wells, you've got Wojos, you got those types of guys that are on the team, but it seems like what has happened is that he's adjusted to having the one and dones and getting some of these upper echelon players, and you see less of the Wojciechowskis and what's the other guy's name? Who's the big man that played there? Miles Plumlee, the oldest Plumlee. Come on now, he was never a one and done. He was always going to be a 4-year player, and Krzyzewski knew that. He was like, I need you. And then who was the tall power forward that could only shoot, had no strength the other 2 years ago? What's his name?
I can't think his name.
You can't even. Thank you very much. You can't even think of his name.
Knows his name.
He's not a one and done, but he's a guy where Krzyzewski will say he has a skill set that I need that will work in my system for 4 years. He'll get a degree. He'll go be a coach, and I ain't got to worry about him going to the league. He'll get those players. But the good players are now going to Krzyzewski. But don't think that him coaching Dream Team 2 and being connected to these pros ain't helping. I think that's probably going to help.
No. All I'm saying is he hasn't won doing that system. So we'll see this year. But all of his championships haven't been with an Okafor or a Kyrie Irving. You see what I'm saying? Not one. So what I'm saying is, he may be adapting to the process now, but I think it's only because those 2 guys decided to come. Because I don't think they looked at Winslow being a one and done, but the fact that he's played so well, the media and everybody else is hyping Winslow. We knew Okafor was probably going to be one and done. The kid Jones is going to stay probably. So what I'm saying is, when Krzyzewski has won the title, it hasn't been with that formula. So it'll be interesting, can he win it this year with that formula? Calipari, that's all he's ever done to a certain point, except when he was at UMass. That's all he's ever done. When he was at Memphis and he's been in Kentucky, he's always went to
if you look at Memphis, who were the one and dones at Memphis? He only had one.
But that's my point. And even when he won with Anthony Davis, there were senior leaders on that team. There were 2 guys on that team. So I get it.
But they weren't Calipari guys.
I just give Krzyzewski more credit for credit is due in the sense of being able to coach a team.
Oh yeah,
juniors and seniors.
Now we're not saying he can't coach. We weren't taking anything from that. It's what Jason was saying is like Jason has said. We're just saying he's evolved to go with the new trend of the one and done, whereas before, because he's actually gone on record. There have been interviews, all of that, where he was not a fan of that system.
And I was saying he was just
wasn't a proponent of it.
He knows what people want to hear,
and all of that stuff. So that's why we were saying, no, that wasn't his thing. That's not what he did. And he has since given up the good fight and the good rhetoric on it. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to work it this way. I can find guys that can work in my system, even if they're only going to be here for a year, to try to get us, back to where we're trying to go and get us to where we're going, thus and such and so forth.
Right, because if you think about it, because he doesn't have, do you see a Wojo or Chris Collins on his teams now?
Yeah, Quinn Cook.
I think Quinn Cook's better than.
He just got better. Don't even try.
Well, they've been trying. They were trying to get him to leave before, and he wasn't that good. But it just seems like,
he ain't going to the NBA, so don't even try.
I guess you can put him and Andre Hawkins. I guess you can put him in there with what's his name, Hawkins. Remember Andre Hawkins? They wanted him to be good.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude last other game. Matt Jones just hit a bunch of shots. And
right. You're right. Dude, I guess it looked.
Lower tier.
I guess what we can all agree on is that his Wojos and Chris Collins and Marty Clarks have better packaging now. That's probably why it doesn't look the same way. It does. I think they look like they're more athletic, better players. You know, they're not the slap the floor, I'm only going to win with heart, type of players.
Okay, but you said packaging. So basically, when you say packaging, that means the wrapping is the one and done.
The wrapping looks like it could actually have a chance of being somebody
The wrapping isn't Okafor? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's saying that Quinn Cook is a little bit better than Wojo. That's what he's saying.
I'm saying that these guys look like there's actually a glimmer of somebody saying he could be good, but nobody was saying. But Chris Collins could be a great pro. He could be the next Mark Price. You never heard that. You never heard Wojo. People were saying, like Torrey always said when we were in college, he would say, you know what? You hear these commentators, they never say he's going to be a pro. They say he's going to make a great coach. That was our thing. Is that they always say that, and but you don't hear them say that about. You don't hear them say that about Quinn Cook. Say he's gonna make a great coach. They say he may have a chance.
Yeah, but my point is, you see Connecticut win with Kemba.
Yeah.
Bass Napier. We've seen, Duke win with seniors. The one and done is out there, but it's not necessarily the formula.
I have a feeling.
If Wisconsin wins, because think about it, Kentucky's got a lot of freshmen, but they got about 2 or 3 juniors on their team and a couple of sophomores. And they play. Porteous before he got hurt, he was a junior.
Everybody's got
Charlie Styles is a senior.
Right.
Yeah. The Twins are sophomores. Mm-hmm. Being a sophomore is a big deal these days, right?
That's a big deal. Yeah, that's like being a junior. Now it's like being a senior.
Oh God, I hate you. You're a sophomore.
That's a big thing. Like, you got sophomores? Like, what? Oh man.
I hate you.
Right. Wow. Right. That's like, man, you got some old guys on your team, right?
Man, them 20-year-olds are old. God.
Man, you got some old players. You got sophomores.
Oh, man. But it's late, though. Appreciate y'all hanging on.
I'm going to bed.
Go to bed. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.
All right, now.
Later on. Peace out.